This video is sponsored by HelloFresh. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have another episode of Knowing Home with Nyasia. Another subscriber reached out to me and wanted to show you guys how they decorated their 2-bedroom here in Midtown West, close to Columbus Circle. And I'd love for you guys to come tour this place with me.
Hey, I'm Shaan.
I'm Luiza.
Welcome to our home. Come on in.
Luisa actually reached out to me because she's such a good friend and she recommended that I come tour their place because, tell us why.
Well, Shaan is an incredible interior designer and her videos popped up on my recommended YouTube. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna email her, tell her about our apartment, about Shaan's designs, and here we are.
So you designed this entire space together.
Yes, it's a collaborative, well, it's a mix of both of our styles. So everything that I look into has to be her style as well. So it's definitely a good mesh of both of our styles.
Hey guys, this is the entrance of our apartment. To the right, we have our bathroom here. It's pretty simple and basic, but we decided to add a little bit of decoration with some incense. We have a shower curtain and we decided that it doesn't have to be ugly. You can get a cute shower curtain. So we got one that has some buttons on it just to add a little personality. And then over here, we have our winter coats. They're pretty big. So our closets aren't too big. So it's nice that we have this little space here. And we also have all of Shaan's hardware stuff, his drills, everything that also lives here. Here we have our little work from home space. And then up here we have this beautiful shelf. This is actually where we keep our masks and our keys. So it's not too cluttered. Everything kind of lives in here.
We actually got the desk from appdeco.com and it's pre-owned, which is really awesome, great for the environment. And you also get to kind of breathe new life into things that other people have kind of lost love for.
And in our old place, the closet home office was right next to the bathroom, so not the most ideal
Killed
placement.
all the vibes.
Yeah, so it's good to be able to
Someone's
kind
on
of
a phone call, the toilet's
right.
going.
So it's good to have that separation of space here so that if Shaan does have to go to the bathroom, it won't interrupt what I'm doing.
One of the things that I love about this apartment is something that a lot of people don't have. You have a beautiful, entertaining space.
I know, that's something we didn't even ask for in our little laundry list of things, and it's just so nice to have people when we have little parties or anything like that, put the drinks out here. And
this is where all the hors d'oeuvres go, the charcuterie plate.
Yes. There was actually the opposite of a statement of a light that we had before. It was just one of those, I can't even describe it. It was disgusting. Horrible. Disgusting. It's from CB2. I would recommend, if you get if you find something you like, wait for a sale because they usually come around, and that's really the best time to get it. So this was actually something I did paint. Thank you for the shout out. But yeah, I just wanted something. Art is so expensive, especially in the city. So if you have the time and energy, go out, buy some acrylic paints, super easy. And you can buy a canvas off Amazon or your local art store. And then on this side, one thing I did want to do is change out the hardware in the cabinets. It's something you could do for pretty cheap. The original hardware was a nickel finish, and then this is just more of a black brass finish. Also works really well with the backsplash. You got those darker tones in there, and it just kind of brings everything together with the light, the cabinets, everything just works a lot better than it used to. The space felt so much smaller than before we had the furniture in. But then once we got the couch in, I realized that I can finally have my dream of having a sectional in this city. Just to divide up the spaces, I did bookshelves on the dining side and I did frames on the living side. This was a really nice way to bring texture and dimension to the dining room and the space as a whole. So I brought in a lot of stuff that I've collected over the years. So my background, I'm Indian, so it kind of holds a little bit of relevance to my life. So last time I was in India, I actually picked these two things up. This is a little stone elephant. This one is a bigger elephant, but the sides are made out of monkeys. And I just thought that was so cool. In these white walls in New York, walnut really translates well to make the spaces feel warmer and a little more just homier. I'm so used to seeing that white lacquer and black lacquer and everything like that. And it kind of comes off as this Miami modern vibe, which is cool, but it does tend to feel a little cold. So if you're looking to kind of warm up your space, make it a little more earthy, these darker walnut tones go so long. This space is kind of like this nice, cool in-between space where you can kind of do an art project or do a puzzle or
play some games.
Exactly, play some games or eat a nice dinner. So it's supposed to translate into that kind of cool functional or multifunctional space. So while I did design this space for me and Luiza to use, we realized that it's actually going to be cool to share it with the world. So you guys are able to book this space on an hourly basis for commercial shoots, video shoots, photo shoots, anything like that. The link is going to be in the description of the video, and you guys can click that. It'll take you to peerspace.com, and you guys can book it on an hourly basis. So I had to take my shoes off for this one because I refuse to walk into this on this rug with the shoes. We got this yesterday. It's leather. It's got this grid look to it, almost like this Art Deco. Pairs really well with the grid on the painting too. In the last place, we did have this sofa, and I got this sofa years ago with the thought that I would one day get the sectional for it, and we finally did. I'm a big fan of gallery walls like this. I love the idea of kind of making your home into a museum if you can. These like art comes from different parts of the world that I've traveled in. This one is from Beijing, and then these are pictures I've actually taken myself. So this is actually a loner sectional. This is gonna be the color that we'll be getting. It's gonna be this kind of two-tone sectional. And in like these smaller New York places, it's so easy for the sectional to take up the entire living room. So just by breaking it up a little bit, you're able to kind of create some depth and interest in that way.
I know he loves his sofa, but the best part is really that chair.
This is a moment.
Is it like a, what is it called, boucle?
This style, I don't know what you're talking about, but I know this is like a chubby style. It's like a little mid-century, but it's also up and coming all over again, where it's like everything's big and blocky, and it's just soft to look at.
Tonight's dinner and tomorrow's lunch is sponsored by HelloFresh, so I want to thank HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video. HelloFresh is a home delivery service that you can get so many different types of recipes. I know how to cook, let me clear that up right now, but I would never make zucchini and tomato flatbreads on my own. So something like this can get you out of the rut of the things that you normally cook every day. So this is what we are making for dinner tonight. It's supposed to look like this when it's all done. I like the fact that the flatbreads are already made. A card with all of the ingredients comes with every meal, and on the back, it's laid out with all of the steps that you have to take to prepare the meal. Most of the meals take about 20 or 30 minutes to make. All of the items are portioned and pre-packaged in these cute little packages, so you're not buying a bunch of condiments that you're never gonna need. Now, the day before yesterday, I did have pork, but there are all types of meal options. You can get vegetarian, pescatarian, low carb, so there's really something for everybody. Every week you get to choose which meals you want for the upcoming week. And if you pick a plan like meat or vegetarian, you don't have to be stuck to it. You can change it for the next week. Go to HelloFresh.com and use my code Nyasia10 to get 10 free meals along with free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com, use my code Nyasia10 to get 10 free meals, including free shipping.
Welcome to my room. This is my little private corner in the apartment. I was originally born in Brazil, but I grew up in the US for pretty much my whole life. And for most of my life, I did live in the suburbs. I lived in homes. So moving to an apartment in the city was very different, but it's nice to kind of have your own little private corners. Even if it's small, you just find your favorite spots, and it is very different than a house, but I think that it's so different when you decorate your own place or have a friend help you decorate your own place. So you can really make it your own home, and I think that's what I've loved the most about living in an apartment in the city. In the apartment that I lived in before, it was a little bit smaller. I didn't have space for a desk. I really only had my bed and the dresser. Something about my room though is that this window just leads to the fire escape, so I don't get a ton of sunlight.
I think one reason like we did this arch this way is because there is since there is no sunlight, we wanted to kind of keep it like a little moody, a little more edgier. So we did like a nice dark color from Bear, and it's like a chimney bluish gray.
Every time there's roommates, there's always a toss-up of who gets what room. How did you guys decide who gets the room with all the light and who gets the room with no light?
I'm more someone who spends time in the living room, and Shaan is in his room a lot more. So we kind of compromised and figured, you know, you're in your room more, I'm not so much in here, so you can get the room with the light.
So I'm a big proponent of like these Philips Hue bulbs or any kind of Wi-Fi bulb that has an LED. You can change the colors and everything like that.
So I have different settings for my room because the window doesn't really work. I have different times set up on my phone on the Philips Hue app. So for example, this is my 10 a.m. setting, and then I have noon, which is just a little bit more yellow toned, and then at nighttime it's just a little bit dimmer. I have a night light. When we have a party, we can change the different colors. Really nice to just be able to do that and make it feel like I have a window even though I don't. So these two pieces are actually from Pottery Barn Teen. So when I first moved to New York, my parents were out in Arizona, so I had no furniture, and they're really good with just sending furniture, putting it up for you. So I kind of just was like, okay, I'll just get the matching set, call it a day, it's easy. But after, learning a little bit more design ideas from Shaan, I kind of do want to switch these out and to not have them be so matchy. So while I do like them, I am planning on doing something a little different.
This is my little sanctuary. This is a little more my style versus the common area is definitely a good mix of me and Luiza's style. I was so happy to find this bed frame. It's a velvet bed frame, and it kind of has these like purplish undertones, which I think is really cool and moody. I've had this gray velvet duvet for years now, and for some reason it just keeps working wherever I put it. I think it's really important to make your bed because then you don't feel the urge to kind of pass back out on it.
Oh no, I'm gonna jump in my bed no matter what it looks like.
And I still end up doing it. I don't have curtains in this place. I haven't rushed to get curtains just because the building across is under construction, so I know no one's gonna be peeking in here. I genuinely love waking up to the sunlight, so as little sunlight as we get, I'm gonna try and get as much of that as possible. I did order curtains, so they will be coming pretty shortly, but I'm in no rush to get it done. I think part of the reason I've been like holding off on the curtains is just so I have one last thing to do before this apartment is completely done. And it's just been kind of nice to like procrastinate it just a little bit. So this tree I got from a local bodega. They sometimes have the best trees. This is also kind of tying into that chubby furniture that you see out in the living room. It's got those like soft edges to it. This was actually something I had in the old place. I got this from Crate & Barrel Outlet, where they sell kind of like lightly damaged furniture that they're just trying to get rid of because they can't sell it anymore. So I got this for 99 bucks and it was just a steal. I had to grab it. The marble from HomeGoods, I will say HomeGoods does have very great marble finds if you're looking for them. The vase is from HomeGoods as well. And then just a really cool place to put, my jewelry, anything, accessories that I'm wearing, bracelets, anything like that. So on the flip side, instead of painting my arch, I ended up painting this wall over here. I need to have in my room is a TV just for when you just want to chill out and just watch a good movie. It just had this kind of big black box in the middle of a white wall. So I really wanted to kind of detract from that and balance it out a little bit. So I did the same color that we did in the kitchen and in Luiza's room, I did on here. It weirdly makes the space feel bigger in a sense, just because it kind of gives that like length to it. And another thing I really liked is, unlike Luiza's room, her wire, the thing to hide the wires is in the corner. So it kind of keeps it discreet, but mine was just smack in the middle of the wall. So just by adding this like horizontal line, you're able to kind of detract or distract the eye from this vertical line that the wire is hiding. Oh my god, it's been so nice to have you guys over here.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, we haven't had people over in a while, so it's nice.
We are your friends for the next however long it's going to be.
We're gonna hold you to that.
Yeah.
You guys can check out the projects I'm working on in the future at aurora.studios on Instagram.
But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.
Bye.